Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 105th commencement of the Hun School of Princeton. We share this glorious morning together to celebrate a group of 133 young people who are close to our hearts and who personify our highest values and our most optimistic hopes. Now please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty. Please be seated. To begin our celebration today, we have something really special that I don't think we've done before. Senior Maximilian Jacob Spieler will perform an original piece he composed for this occasion titled Princeton Boogie. Max. To begin our ceremony, I'd like to thank a number of people who have made this day possible. Thanks first to our Board of Trustees. It's their vision that guides the school, and the good work we do is possible only because of the energy, wisdom, and love that they devote so generously to Hun. Thanks to our staff, administration, and especially to our teachers. To paraphrase Robert Frost, they are not just teachers, but awakeners, and they're exactly the right people to entrust with shaping the experience of promising young people. And finally, to our close partners and friends, the parents, grandparents, and families who have nurtured our graduates for almost 2 decades and have created the young people we're so proud to claim as our own. We say thanks. And now on to our graduates. The 133 individuals about to cross our stage represent 9 different nations and 5 different states. They bring to our community every possible point of view, the most diverse talents and virtues to be found on any campus, anywhere. But our graduates share much in common. Each is a living example of the values we hold dear, and each is the product of years of work and worry, caring and support from parents, teachers, families, and friends. This is a good time to say that they're worth every minute. Class of 2019, you truly make us proud. We've been moved by your stunning creativity in music, drama, the visual arts. We've cheered the sportsmanship, skill, and hard work that brought us athletic championships and personal bests, and the spirit that brought this year's Hun Cup to Quill House. We've admired your works of high scholarship and watched you accomplish things we never could. You allowed us to share in your achievements, to take satisfaction in your growth, to wonder at your passion, talent, and simple human goodness. Now we look forward to watching you take the next steps on to college and to satisfying and productive lives. You'll be moving away from a relatively structured life built on school schedules and rules and family expectations. And in your new world, you'll be almost completely responsible for generating the routines and self-discipline to govern your life. You're well prepared for this, and you'll make the transition like all Hun graduates do. But along with your independence comes some pretty deep, lifelong questions. What things give you a sense of joy and satisfaction? Putting aside everyone else's expectations, what feels important to you? What and whom do you love? What jobs are you good at? How can you serve the world? These are fundamental questions about where you find meaning, your purpose in life. Your answers will never be final, They will evolve with your experiences and circumstances. But you need at least a rough draft in order to avoid just following the crowd or drifting along on currents and whims that really aren't meant for you. Life purpose sounds kind of heavy and perplexing, and it can be if you fixate on it the wrong way. But it may be simpler than you think. Let me tell you about someone who I think got this problem right and someone else who got it wrong. Residents on the Japanese island of Okinawa are known to have the longest life expectancy in the world. They live on average 7 good, healthy years longer than Americans, and more than 5 times as many Okinawans live to 100 years or older. I hope Dr. Fabian can confirm these remarks. Along with diet and other habits, researchers attribute this longevity to an Okinawan cultural focus on what they call ikigai, spelled I-K-I-G-A-I, which means basically, what makes you want to get up in the morning? Researcher Dan Butner recounts that if you ask Okinawans for their ikigai, they're expected to have an answer in mind. A 102-year-old karate master answers that his daily love is teaching martial arts. A 100-year-old fisherman answers that he loves bringing the daily catch home to his family. A 102-year-old woman says that her ikigai is simply holding her great-great-granddaughter, an experience she compares to leaping into heaven. It's a beautiful thought. Okinawans know why they get up each day. They spend time doing what they love. By distilling grand questions of purpose and meaning into the simple question, what makes you want to get up in the morning? They cut through a labyrinth of complexities and blind pathways, and that leads to lives that are happier, more serene, and perhaps even longer. Now on to someone who took the wrong approach to life's purpose question, and that someone, of course, is me. In my college years, I liked school, I worked pretty hard, I had fun, I met my future wife, which I have to mention, so they were great years. But I never thought much about purpose, except maybe to get good grades and to please my parents. After graduation, like some of my friends, I jumped into law school. Not because I knew the first thing about practicing law, but because I got in and it pleased my family and I had nothing better to do and it felt like the next rung on the ladder. And when I got there, I couldn't stand it. This is not to say anything bad about law school or the legal profession or to discourage any future or present lawyers who are in the audience today. Many of my friends loved law school, still love practicing law, and found in it everything that they could have hoped for a life's calling. But for me individually, it felt tedious and hyper-competitive and overly technical. Nevertheless, I stuck it out because the current was kind of carrying me that way, and it would pay well, and it sounded impressive to the people I knew. After 3 years of law school, I got a job at a good law firm, and it only got worse. It seemed like an excellent start to someone's life, but certainly not to mine. I leaned hard on sheer willpower and did okay at it, well enough to stay on the track, but I truly dreaded going to work every morning. After a couple of years, I realized I was at the bottom of a hole that I had worked very hard to dig for myself. But you can always find a way out. For me, it started with a wise person who gave me much the same advice I'm giving you today. At her suggestion, I wrote a long essay to myself about everything that had ever felt meaningful in my life, everything that had brought me joy and a sense of accomplishment, sort of a lifelong ikigai. I recalled working with young kids as a summer camp counselor and loving the spirit and energy of young people. And I'd loved helping freshmen adapt to college life as a resident advisor in my college dorm. I even remembered a temporary job I once had as a substitute French teacher for the magnificent sum of $40 a week. I was terrible at it. It was exhausting, but it made me want to get up in the morning. Somehow, until writing that essay, I had neglected even to think about where these obviously meaningful experiences were pointing me. Within a few months, after considerable anguish and indecision, I turned in my resignation and accepted a job as a high school history teacher. Almost from the beginning, I could feel that my new job gave me much more of what my soul desired. That was 33 years ago, and now I get to spend my days with amazing students and colleagues like the ones all around us today. And as I look back on it now, I think that essay saved my life. So class of 2019, my advice to you today is to live like an Okinawan. Keep careful track of those precious things that make you want to get up in the morning. Try to grow your life in their direction. Remember them when you hit a wrong turn or a dead end. Unless you're a philosophy major, you don't need to discover the meaning of life, but you do need to explore the meaning in your life. Find your own ikigai, and who knows, maybe it'll help you live to be 102. Those are my remarks for today. It has long been a tradition to recognize at graduation faculty and staff who are retiring from the school and those who are celebrating milestones of service. Today, we recognize Kathy Quirk, who is retiring after 46 years as Assistant Director of Athletics, teacher, coach, and resident faculty member, and Mark Niederer, who is retiring after teaching woodworking, mechanical drawing, and architectural design for 40 years. Kathy and Mark, would you please stand so we can applaud your dedication and contributions to the school? It's also a tradition to recognize employees who are celebrating their 25th anniversary at the school this year, and I'd like to ask those individuals to come up and receive a gift to recognize their years of service. David Bush, Deborah Cavarda, and Jennifer Mitchell, please step forward. What are those damn things? Yeah, would you hold this for a second? I think you have to come up on stage. Thanks for 25 years. There's a brief paragraph about each of those three amazing people in the program, and they really personify what our teachers give to our students. It's now my pleasure to introduce Mr. Stephen Wills, Chairman of the Hun School Board of Trustees. Steve is completing his 5th year on the board and his first year as board chair. His remarkably broad and successful experience as a business and civic leader enabled to engage with all the practical and people issues at stake in the complicated governance of a school, always with fairness and insight. His love of Hun brings him to our campus on countless mornings, nights, and weekends. It's a lot of work, especially for a busy person, but Steve offers his wise, straightforward leadership with unfailing good cheer and enlivening humor. Under his guidance, the board is moving towards some very exciting projects to take Hun into the next steps in its development on campus, endowment, and programs. Steve's commitment to Hun is a family affair. He and his wife Gwen are the parents of 3 Hun graduates. Sons Brian and Brent walked across this stage as graduates in 2007 and 2018, and his daughter Kaylee graduated from Hun in 2013. Please join me in welcoming Steve Wills.
Can everyone hear okay? Great. All right. Good morning and welcome. Let me frame a story for you. It's the fall of 2003. Hun JV football is playing arch rival Lawrenceville at Lawrenceville. Hun is coached by the legendary Bill Quirk. It's the last game of the season. Both teams are undefeated. I'd like to tell you that Hun started off strong. They didn't. After 2 quarters, they were down 28-0. Now, I wasn't in the locker room during halftime, but I'm certain Coach Quirk delivered one of his famous inspirational talks. Because to start the second half, Hun scored touchdown right away. Score was now 28-7. Halfway through the third quarter, 28-14. Halfway through the fourth quarter, it's getting interesting. The score is now 28-21. And with 30 seconds left, Hun scores a touchdown. It's now 28-27. Coach Quirk calls a timeout. Now, during this year, I was able to adjust my schedule pretty well and make all the games. But I've always liked to be close to the action, so I'd volunteer to man one of the first down markers. So I'm actually right on the field, right next to the team, as Coach Quirk is trying to somewhat calm them, but keep them excited. So I hear Coach Quirk say, "Guys, great job. I'm so proud of you. Coming back from 28 points. Thank you for not embarrassing me." He then states, "But we got a little more work to do. We're 1 point down. Let's send in the kicker. Let's tie the game." And to be clear, this kicker was automatic. He had never missed an extra point, ever. But then there's silence. Coach Quirk looks around, does that nice little pause that we all like to do, and says, or we can take a chance. We can go for it. We can go for the win. Team goes wild, runs onto the field. 20 seconds later, one side is celebrating. Time is not limitless. If you want to realize your greatest potential, you need to evolve. To evolve, you need experiences. And to get experiences, you need to take chances. I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. It's not about who won the game. You're thinking about the party tonight, tomorrow, or next week, that the conversation is going to invariably morph towards, hey, that board guy, in his speech, what was his thesis statement? Am I right? And you're going to look around. There's no Mr. Volz. There's no Mrs. Beal. There's no Miss Lafredo to help you out. But it's your lucky day. I'm going to help you out. I'm going to tell you my thesis statement. Wouldn't that be nice rather than try and figure it out? Steve Wills, in his commencement speech to the 2019 graduates of the Hun School of Princeton, strongly suggest that you need to risk it to get the biscuit. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Steve. Don't forget it, guys. Okay, you'll note in your program a list of seniors who were presented with year-end awards at a recent assembly and at the senior dinner. I'd ask that these students stand as I read their names. Elizabeth Adelia Beers, Hope Angela Fedun, Luisa Batista da Costa Loyo, and Olivia Ryan Preston for the Art Purchase Prize. Elizabeth Adelia Beers for the Edward L. Arnold Memorial Art Prize. Curtis Alexander Hollick for the CAD 3D Design Prize. Brenna Dallin Wenner for the Dora Lee Prize for Chinese. Summer Ann Goldstein for the Classical Languages Prize. Ishana Desai for the Cultural Competency Beacon Award. Shuye Ada Zhang for the Kay Kiefer Community Award and Yearbook Award. Olivia Frances McNulty, the Jane Kidder Community Service Award. Jillian Kate Nguyen Shadrack, the Dance Award and French Prize. Laura Min-jae Kim, the Alan R. Kirshner Memorial English Prize. Eagle Jiang for the Ghostlight Drama Prize. Kennedy Danielle Burrows, the Helen Farnham Memorial History Prize. Summer Ann Goldstein and Laura Min-jae Kim, the Hun Review Awards. Avinash Yalamanchi, the Jazz Award. Luisa Batista da Costa Loyo, the Lindsay Jacob Memorial Prize for Journalism. Hao Yu Helena Sun, the Ralph Sharp Memorial Mathematics Prize. Andre Neshan Balian and Joseph Robert Willenbacher for the Instrumental Music Prize. Olivia Ryan Preston, the Photography Prize. Andre Nishan Balian for the Hubert Allier Science Award. Olivia Frances McNulty, the Life Science Prize. Nathan Yu, the Physical Science Prize. Olivia Francis McNulty and Harry John Ayrton Millington, the Red Shield Awards. Yu Hao Raymond Feng and Eric Mackenzie Harrigan, the Resident Life Awards. Maria Virginia Monroy, the Spanish Prize. Sarah Ann Willenbacher, the Excellence in Theater and Roy Meislich Senior Writing Awards. Grace Elizabeth Piasecki, the Video Production and Hun TV Prize. And Alexis Palmyra Moyes, the Vocal Award. Congratulations to all of you. The following seniors have earned high honors qualification for one or both semesters of the 2018-19 academic year. They've achieved the rare distinction of a 95 average across all classes with no grade below a 90. I'd ask each to stand, and at the end, we'll give them all a round of applause. Andre Balian, Devin Cowan, Ishana Desai, Summer Goldstein, Natasha Koo, Joey Licitra, Sutritha Patlola, Nicholas Ramsey, Arturo Rodriguez, Gigi Shadrack, Blaine Soper, Maximilian Spieler, Helena Sun, Shubha Vasist, Emily Ward, Sarah Willenbacher, Nathan Yu, and Ada Jean. Congratulations to you guys. We'd also like to recognize 12 seniors with us today who have attended the Hun School since their freshman year. Since their freshman year, 6th grade year, right? I ask that these students stand as I read their names. Jack Ryan Carney, James Sidney Duthie, Teresa Marie Hemberger, Vignesh Maddy, Blake Irwin Morrissey, Sean Michael Pazdera, Gabriella Marie Pinchot, Madeline Haley Santori, Soham Sharad, Hriday Jagdish Tarea, Shubha Vasist, and Emily Ann Ward. Please stand. Our lifers. Finally, 9 special senior prizes are awarded at commencement. It's time now to present these awards. This is a good time to advise parents. If you'd like to take pictures, please feel free to step forward and just remember other people's need to have a view also. Okay, first we have the John L. Kushke Memorial Award, awarded to the senior who has demonstrated outstanding accomplishments in non-athletic extracurricular activities. This year the award is presented to Jillian Kate Nguyen Shadrack. Gotcha. The John R. Scott Memorial Award is presented to the senior who, by proven excellence in athletics, sportsmanship, leadership, and school spirit, has contributed most to the Hun School. This year's recipient is Jack Bertram Ruddy. The Michelle Bonacci Marks Class of '89 Memorial Award is presented to the senior who, by proven excellence in athletics, sportsmanship, leadership, and school spirit, has contributed most to the Hun School. This year's recipient is Leah Nicole Sutphin. The Robert Stryanese Class of 1970 Memorial Award has been established in the memory of Robert Stryanese, president of the Class of 1970, to be presented to that member of the graduating class who, in the opinion of the faculty, has earned the respect of students and faculty alike for perseverance, leadership, and loyalty to the Hun School. This year's award is given to Blaine Ian Soper. The James A. McFadden Class of 1959 Memorial Award has been established in memory of Jimmy McFadden for his exemplary spirit of honor, true sportsmanship, and deep loyalty to his friends, his family, and God. It's presented to that member of the graduating class who, in the opinion of the faculty, most clearly exemplifies these qualities. This year's award is presented to Devin James Cowan. The Edwin Jake Jacobs Memorial Award has been established in the memory of Jake Jacobs, who gave 42 years of his 62 years of life to the Hun School. It's given to a senior who has demonstrated the qualities of selflessness, friendliness, interest in others, and exceptional service to the school. This year's recipient is Mary Catherine Shea. And now the Catherine Wright Gorey Class of 1998 Memorial Award. It's awarded to that member of the senior class who best exemplifies the qualities of Kate Gorey, distinguished member of the class of 1998. These include a love of family and friends, respect for the environment, joy and radiance of expression and demeanor, integrity, and sincere desire to acquire and impart knowledge. At this time, I'd like to ask Kate's parents, Trustee Emeritus Tom Gorey and his wife Meg, to step on stage to present the award. This year's award is presented to Arturo Rodriguez. Thanks very much, Meg. The Headmaster's Award is given to individuals in this senior class who exemplify the personal growth which results from taking full advantage of the opportunities offered at the Hun School. These students, through commitment to excellence in scholarship, exemplary participation in extracurricular activities, and service to the community, have brought honor to the Hun School. This year's award is presented to Jada Bless Jones, Matthew Stephen Kay, Olivia Francis McNulty, and Elijah Walter Smar. Please step forward. Congratulations. And now the Faculty Prize. The Faculty Prize is the most coveted of senior awards. It's chosen each year by vote of the faculty. I'll read the citation. The faculty has selected you as the winner of the Hun School Faculty Prize. We've done so because we feel that you, more noticeably than any other member of your class, have exemplified those characteristics of integrity, reliability, leadership, character, and scholarship we most desire in our students. By your willingness to learn and use your innate abilities, you've improved your intellectual prowess and the activities in which you have participated. Your modesty, good manners, and consideration of others have been a credit to you and your family and have enhanced the spirit of the Hun School. This year's award goes to Miles Ellis Bostick. So maybe the best part of our graduation ceremony is that we ask students to do most of the talking. Now on to our student speakers, who are our two salutatorians, and followed by our valedictorian. The Paul R. Cheeseborough Salutatory Award is awarded each year to the member of the senior class who has demonstrated excellence in scholarship and a rigorous academic program over a 3-year period. Because their GPA scores and the strength of their academic courses literally came to a tie, this year we're awarding 2 salutatory awards. The first goes to Joseph Anthony Lecitra. Joey Lasitra is a true scholar. This hardworking student is always up for a challenge and has an impressive resume to match. He was elected to the National Honor Society as a sophomore and was awarded the prestigious Yale Book Award, given for intellectual promise, in his junior year. Joseph also received national recognition as a presidential scholar and a member of the National Junior Classical League. Outside the classroom, Joseph made his mark on the Hun School through his involvement with student government and as a member of the varsity boys soccer team. While his scholarship, leadership, and service are defining attributes, his kindness, compassion, and strong character are what really set him apart. He's a leader, mature beyond his years, and his passion for learning will serve him well in his future at Georgetown University. On behalf of the faculty, I'm proud to present this year's first Paul R. Cheeseborough Salutatory Award to Joseph Anthony Lasitra. I'll give it to him and then get out of the way.
You should give him you let him speak first.
I'll give it.
Wow. Good morning, Mr. Brome, Mr. Hughes, faculty, staff, parents, family, friends, and most importantly, the class of 2019. What a morning it is. Happy graduation day. So this morning, I've decided to take you all back to a brisk December day this past year. I found myself sitting in my living room at home. I was worried, scared, and overwhelmed. There was plenty to be anxious about. Where would I be spending the next 4 years of my academic life? What would I do in the last months of my senior year? How would I fare on my AP exams? Anxiety is really nothing new for any of us to deal with. I had felt the same kind of anxiety exactly 4 years ago when I decided to come to Hun. We all took a leap of faith deciding to come here. We left behind friends, friends, schools, and the comforts of what our daily lives had been. Some of us even decided to take a literal leap of faith by jumping into a lake at Camp Canadensis. You know who you are. But we all chose Hun, and as a result, we chose each other. Some of us spent hours in locker rooms before huge games, whether it be state championships or homecoming under the lights. We prayed that all the time and energy put into the season would be worth it. Still others of us sat in our rooms studying countless hours for midterms and finals, hoping that we had done enough to get the grade we were aiming for. Still, the anxiety felt in these situations paled in comparison to what I was currently enduring that winter day. My uneasiness and fear quickly turned to despair. I watched the most beautiful spiral I had ever seen in my life fall perfectly into the hands of Antonio Brown for his second touchdown of the day. As Brian Nelson leapt off the couch in celebration, I knew all hope was lost. I had come in last place in my fantasy football league for the second straight year. Another year of taking up everyone's plates at breakfast and lunch, and worst of all, another year in which I would have to get my head shaved. They even wanted me to sit on a toilet today at graduation, but Mr. Hughes wouldn't let them. So, my current situation looked bleak, and it would have been easy to dwell on the past and what this loss meant. However, I chose to be more positive, have a more positive way of thinking, to remember that there would always be a new season in fantasy football, a clean slate, another chance to play the game. While fantasy football obviously may not seem that important to most of you, I feel that it represents a game we all play in our lives. We're currently entering a new season, and with this new season comes new challenges, new goals, but most importantly, a fresh start. When a new season arrives, everything that occurred in the previous season goes away, except, well, my haircut. It doesn't define the new team. Everyone starts 0-0, and everyone has an equal chance to claim the championship. We will all start our next 4 years 0-0. We are going to have to decide if we are willing to put in the work and the time to win a championship or not. This moment of reset to 0-0 is never that simple, however. Players need to be signed, drafted, dropped, etc. Any organization decides what players will fit into future plans and what players will not. Similarly, we all need to decide what will take center stage in our lives. College will give us the chance to solely focus on what our passions are. Some of us may be starting next year feeling like back-to-back last-place finishers, like I am. But remember, we have the opportunity to make the changes necessary to become the person we truly want to be. We have the opportunity to erase any previous notions about our character or work ethic and start fresh. Some of us, however, may feel like we are starting the next season as league winners. For those of us with this thinking, we need to understand that there is always room for improvement. A champion will always have the ability to get better. The number one thing to remember, as a champion, is to never get complacent. Everyone will be out to take down the champion, so you must be on your game at all times. A season never goes perfectly to plan. Teams are constantly plagued with injuries and suspensions. What makes a great team is how they respond to these setbacks. Similarly, we will be faced with many roadblocks in these upcoming years. Our reaction to these circumstances will define who we become and how enjoyable these next years will be. None of our journeys will be the same. We likely will be very different people by the end of this next season in our lives. However, the main goal will always be the same: win a championship. You all need to find what winning a championship means in your own life and strive for that goal. We all chose Hun, and we will choose what comes next. Our time here has shaped us and made us resilient enough to keep playing the game. When all is said and done, however, you need to make sure that your name is engraved on that championship trophy. Thank you.
Is that his? That's yours or his? Thank you, Joey. Our second salutatory award is presented to Jillian Kate Nguyen Shadrach. Jillian approaches everything she does with sincere zest and commitment. Her talent and passion for learning have led her to achieve at the highest levels, including national recognition as a presidential scholar and also as a member of the National Honor Society. The recipient of this year's John L. Kushke Memorial Award and the French Prize, Jillian's also a Hun Global Studies Scholar, and this spring helped lead an innovative global next-term course as a teaching assistant. This poised young woman is a talented whirlwind who just so happens to be an accomplished ballerina with American Repertory Ballet and recipient of the Achievement in Dance Award. She'll be continuing her pursuit of excellence next year at Princeton University. On behalf of the faculty, I'm proud to present this year's Paul R. Cheeseborough Salutatory Award to Jillian Kate Nguyen Shadrach.
Good morning and welcome, friends, dear family, faculty, and the class of 2019. I love lists. I write lists a lot. I'm constantly writing up lists, agendas, and schedules to map out my life and feel in control in a world I feel sometimes moves too fast. In fact, writing this speech was on 3 separate to-do lists of mine. I wrote another one of my many lists in this journal, outlining everything I was to do between making the list and graduating today. AP exams, ballet rehearsals and performances, my capstone project, and so on. And I'm happy to report that I've checked off everything off that list, except for this speech, which, if you don't mind, I'll do right now. Do I have a pen? One sec. In a way, this list was a way for me to count down the days until today, a way to organize the passage of time. I've complained endlessly to teachers and to my parents about not having enough time, or have expressed my exasperation with not being able to control it. Now, I know time is a broad topic. How can we begin to describe something so vast, so infinite? Is it infinite? Does it have a finite end, and how and when did it begin? Our concept of time gets messy. It feels like the way I experience time is nothing but an illusion, and that's a scary feeling for me. On my very first day of AP English Literature, my teacher, Mr. Schaffner, had the class go on an obscure scavenger hunt. We had to take pictures of the items and concepts given to us on a list. Yay. One of the items was conflict. Panicking because I did not want to lose to another team, I quickly snapped a picture of the clock in the library so that my group could move on to the next item. It took a bit of convincing my peers and the teacher to accept my submission, but it's true. Time felt like a conflict. Time felt like my greatest enemy these past 4 years. Always rushing to hand in assignments and tests on time, or finding enough hours in the day to do everything I wanted to do seemed impossible. But today, I'm grateful for time. Though I'll miss Hun and everything this community has taught me, I'm glad that the passage of time will move me forward to my next adventure. Throughout high school, as the years, months, days, hours passed, I've come to realize that this time is ours. Though we may not understand it or be able to control it, we can use it. We must. We must use the time we have to do something meaningful, whether that be engineering a new tool that benefits society, or simply offering a smile and kind words to someone who needs it. Throughout high school, I've come to realize that my experiencing of time was not the illusion. My attempts to manage it with my lists were the illusion. To-do lists were meant to help me control this massive puddle of time, but they actually made me the servant of time. When anything spontaneous would happen that I didn't account for in my lists, I wouldn't know how to deal with it. As we move on with our lives, we will all need to be able to account for more spontaneity. We will manage our own schedules, choose our own classes, our own majors, our own careers. It seems that as life keeps throwing surprises in our way, we'll have to let go of our lists, or at least accept they'll need to be constantly amended. Mr. Schaffner actually suggested I pour lighter fluid on this journal and burn it like Jimi Hendrix at Woodstock in front of you all today. But he didn't want to get fired, so he told me he was joking. But I don't think he was. But instead of causing a fire hazard, I could rip it up in an attempt to be more spontaneous. So I'll just do that. Oh, don't worry, I have 2 extra copies safely tucked in at home, and also a digital copy, and I'm really serious. Anyway, this wouldn't be a proper graduation speech without a cliche quote, so here it is. Shakespeare once said, "All the world's a stage." Our high school experience was our rehearsal. Long school days and seemingly endless assignments have trained us to be refined performers as we embark on our separate journeys starting today. As a dancer, when I get on stage, I can't think about the choreography anymore. I need to rely on my muscle memory and simply let go of my worries to share the joy of performing with the audience. I'm sure it's the same for the actors in our class, who must trust themselves that they have memorized their scenes and lines well enough to perform. I'm sure it's the same for the athletes in our class, who have practiced constantly but have to improvise once they get on the field. At least that's what I'm told athletes do. Our lives past high school will be some of our wildest performances, filled with ups and downs, and who knows what surprises and bouts of spontaneity life will throw at us. Only time will tell. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Gigi. There are times you should listen to Mr. Schaffner and times not to listen to Mr. Schaffner. Now we come to our valedictorian. The John Gale Hunn Valedictory Award is awarded each year to the member of the senior class who has earned the highest cumulative grade point average over a 3-year period. The 2019 valedictorian is Summer Ann Goldstein. Summer is a voracious reader, creative thinker, an exceptional scholar with an intrinsic motivation for a greater understanding of the world around her. Inducted into the Cum Laude Society in her junior year, Summer was also recognized with a Classical Language Award and received national recognition as a presidential scholar and winner of the National Classical Etymology Award. Summer has made an indelible impression on her teachers. In fact, when I asked my colleagues for their reflections, one teacher shared that Summer's passion and curiosity inspired him to make an even deeper dive into lesson preparation for his class. Summer's not just an exceptional scholar, she's also a well-rounded individual who served as editor-in-chief of the Hunn Review and worked behind the scenes as a leader in the drama program. Her passion for service also inspired her to serve as a lead tutor in the Peer Tutoring Center and as a member of the Community Service and Diversity Clubs. We'll greatly miss her next year as she embarks on her next chapter at Brown University. On behalf of the faculty, I'm proud to present this year's John Gale Hunn Valedictory Award to Summer Ann Goldstein. Congratulations, Summer.
Welcome, class of 2019, to graduation day, a day that seemed to rush to get here. And welcome to faculty and family. Thank you for joining us today and for helping us on this journey. To my friends and family, I love you all very much. Up until about April, I felt almost entirely ready to leave high school. Not that I was ready for college, I still don't feel completely ready for that. but I was just ready to be free from the high school stress of classes and homework and tests and college decisions. In short, I was tired. Then I had a conversation with my very patient mom where I promised to try and be a little more positive about my last weeks here. And I did try, though maybe imperfectly. But then I began to notice more and more all that I was going to miss about this place. And I think many of us came to notice the gravity of our leaving Hun and of our impending goodbyes as we began countdowns to the last day of class and reminded each other that there were only 10 days of classes left, then 5, then 2. And how crazy is that? Of course, we will miss our friends, our favorite teachers, our coaches and faculty members, and sitting outside during class or during free time on a sunny day. And we will also miss people who we are fond of but can only really call classmates and don't know as well. The people whom you smile at or grimace at across the Harkness table with the singular sense of camaraderie that is a part of what it means to be a student. It's strange to think that, for all we know, we might never see those people again. But perhaps today really isn't the best time to get bogged down in what-ifs. We will all probably miss as well the events and stories that remind us of how wild high school has been, with all of us enclosed within these walls together. The stories so memorable that you tell them to people who don't even go to Hun, who have absolutely no context, just because you think they have to be shared. Like when Black Violin visited, and most of the school joined in what could only be referred to as a mosh pit at 10 a.m. on a Wednesday morning. Or when our marine biology class got Mr. Lafredo to play Pop Tropica for a few minutes by chanting Pop Tropica over and over. Or how most of us still consider a silent nose goes an acceptable way of deciding who's going to have to airplay a video for a substitute. There are many more of those stories to tell, and some well-known favorites that I'm not supposed to go into. There are multitudes of goodbyes to say as our time here comes to a close. Goodbye to the Kennedys and Ishanas who have been there for us through all of it. Goodbye to underclassmen you wish you had more time with. Goodbye to teachers who made classes exciting with Great Gatsby music videos and ugly sweaters, and Kahoot music, who helped you discover that you're passionate about Latin or calculus or literature. And goodbye to teachers whose classrooms you visit at the end of the day, even though they aren't your own. You also have to say goodbye to your favorite things that you loved at Hun: classes, sports, clubs, and all else. I hope nearly everyone found something new to enjoy here, and perhaps even in the places where you would never have expected it. Maybe you found a passion for photography, for performing in musicals, for baseball, for volunteering at an animal shelter, for chemistry. Hun has provided a wide array of opportunities for us to dig our own niches. We now have to say goodbye to those things in the way that they exist here, but those interests and opportunities and the willingness to explore them carry with us. I tend to have trouble with goodbyes, or rather, I focus too much on each little goodbye. All of us have to deal with some realization that this, right then, is the last play, last home game, last AP exam of high school, you name it. Everything can be a goodbye to us who are leaving and to those who are watching us go. Of course, the Hun School will continue on without us here. People will continue to pack up just a little too early for class, especially now that there aren't going to be any bells next year, which I learned about 2 days ago. New people will sit at the table behind the library stairs or at the desks that we assigned ourselves on the first day of school. But the Hun School has been around for a long time, so it's safe to say that it's not going anywhere. It's okay to move on. I think one of the big questions for all of us right now is, am I ready for this next step? It's certainly a question that I've asked myself a lot recently. Look back on your first day of high school at Hun, when you walked up to the mall for the first time, wondering what your years here would have in store. Did you feel ready then? Maybe, maybe not. Either way, none of us could have foreseen what was set along our path here, what we did, and what choices we made. So then, are you ever fully, completely ready for anything? I think the secret is that you're not supposed to be. That's the entire point of starting something new. 0-0, as Joey said. We are all as ready as we can be and as prepared, And that uncertainty is just part of all that comes with growing up and learning to deal with new challenges. Our parting gift is to be able to say as many goodbyes as we want, or as few, and in all the ways that we want them. So, as we say all of our goodbyes today, we can have the confidence that our friendships, our parents, our teachers, and the Hun School of Princeton have prepared us for what's next. We can move on, confident that we are as ready as we can be, as ready as we need to be, and we're going to be amazing. Thank you all, everyone who's here, but particularly my classmates and teachers for sharing these years with me. I wish you all the best. Goodbye.
I would now like to invite Senior Alexis Palmyra Moyes to the stage to perform, or not to the stage, right? To right there. To perform Just Like a Star by Corinne Bailey Ray. Alexis.
Just like a star across my sky, just like an angel off the page, you have appeared to my life. Feels like I'll never be the same. Just like a song in my heart, just like oil on my head. Oh, I so love you. Still I wonder why it is I don't argue like this with anyone but you. We do it all the time, blowing out my mind. You got this look I can't describe. You make me feel like I'm alive. Everything else is all faded. Without a doubt, you're on my side. Heaven has been way too long. Can't find the words to write this song. Oh, I still love you. Still I wonder why it is I don't argue like this with anyone but you. We do it all the time, blowing out my mind. Na na no, 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 na na no. Now I have come to understand the way it is. It's not a secret anymore, 'cause we've been through this before. In the night, I know that you're the only one. I've been confused and in the dark. Now I understand. Still I wonder why it is I don't argue like this with anyone but you. We do it all the time, blowing out my mind. Just like a star across my sky, just like an angel off the page, you have appeared to my life. Feels like I'll never be the same. Just like a song in my heart, just like oil on my hands. Okay.
Thank you, Alexis. As head of the upper school, it is my honor to preside over the conferment of diplomas. I would invite our Dean of Students, Bethany Lafredo, Headmaster Jonathan Brome, and Board Chair Steve Wills to assist, and Senior Dean Vivian Peel to lead the seniors. Parents and friends, please note that we have professional photographers taking photos of each student, but if you'd like to take your own, please keep in mind not to block the view of other guests. Martin Curtis Adams. Paul William Argerio. Andre Nishan Balian. Jackson Joseph Barletta. Justin Roman Dale Bauer. Elizabeth Adelia Beers. Cameron James Bennett. At this time, I would like to invite past trustee and Hun alum Peter Black to the stage to present Kira with her diploma. Kira Ann Black. Andrew Thomas Blake. Miles Ellis Bostick. Malcolm Isaiah Brunson. Kennedy Danielle Burrows. Sebastian Julian Kalanico Lawrence. Jack Ryan Carney. Gavin Martin Casey. David Shiwan Chen. Coleman Alfred Churko. Caroline Kiernan Connolly. Devin James Cowan. Jordan Marie Delorifus. Ishana Desai. Joseph Aiden DeSanti. James Sidney Duthie. Brendan Namdi Eguhalu. Jack Nicholas Urbeck. Hope Angela Fadun. Yuhao Feng. Eric Alexander Fleming. Shamar Xavier Florence. Dylan Jacob Galgano. Summer Ann Goldstein. Blake Anthony Hansen. Aaron Mackenzie Harrigan. Marcus Alfred Hartman. Yuli Hu. Teresa Marie Hemberger. Joshua Ryan Henderson. Nina Marie Henry. Curtis Alexander Hollick. James Daniel Hunley. Kobimdi Ogachi Ehoma. Ying Ji Zhang. Lauren Elizabeth Johns. Jada Bless Jones. Ryan James Casper. Matthew Stephen Kay. Oliver Adam Kearns. Rostislav Kerul. Natasha Ku Serong. Laura Minjae Kim. Gavin Thomas Kirk. Skylar LeBeau Maltese. Joseph Anthony Lasitra. Samuel Paul Lowenhar. Luisa Batista da Costa Loyo. Vignesh Maddy. Joseph Thomas Malatesta. Marco Malavoyevich. Isabella L. Martinez. Mirjana del Carmen Martinez Tejera. At this time, I would like to invite Parent Association Chair Regina Masad to the stage to present Anna with her diploma. Anna Marie Masad. Aiden Kennedy McDowell. Charles Patrick McGrath. Alexander John McLaughlin. Olivia Frances McNulty. Daniel George Melnick. Jai Damani Miller. Harry John Ayrton Millington. Alexis Palmyra Moyes. Maria Virginia Monroy. Blake Irwin Morrissey. Brendan Thomas Mrachek. James Joseph Muldowney. At this time, I would like to invite faculty member Jim Neelig to the stage to present diplomas to Kendall and Letson. Kendall Ruth Neelig. Letson Elizabeth Neelig. Brian Sinclair Nelson. Donald Sawyer Nesselrode. Megan Catherine O'Keefe Donahue. Wukun Oyang. Ronak Jignesh Pandya. Ryan Jack Paris. Sean Rajesh Patel. Sutritha Reddy Patlola. Sean Michael Pazdera. Isabel DeCenso Peel. Victor Hoffman Pertsu. Grace Elizabeth Piasecki. Gabriella Marie Pinchot. Olivia Ryan Preston. Nicholas Patrick Ramsey. Arturo Rodriguez. Jack Bertram Ruddy. Emily Kelly Ryan. Madeline Haley Santori. Jillian Kate Nguyen Shadrach. Abigail Lee Schinsler. Andrew Onofrio Seeger. Priyanka Seth. Soham Sharad. Mary Catherine Shea. Elijah Walter Smar. Blaine Ian Soper. Paul Andrew Spagnoletti Jr. Maximilian Jacob Spieler. Hayu Sun. Wang Fan Sun. Leah Nicole Sutphin. Ava Rose Tadeo. Rade Jagdish Talrea. McGuire Gunnar Tuffy. Shubha Vasist. Caden Anson Wallace. At this time, I would like to invite Trustee Susan Ward to the stage to present Emily with her diploma. Emily Ann Ward. Brenna Dalen Wenner. Zachary Stoller Wellman. Grace Catherine Rorosta. Joseph Robert Willenbucker. Sarah Ann Willenbucker. Brianna Nyasia Worthy. At this time, I would like to invite faculty member Amy Wright to the stage to present Jake with his diploma. Jake Christopher Wright. Avinash Yalamanchi. Nathan Yu. Hongwan Zhang. Karen Zhang. Chia Zhang. Graduates, please stand. Please turn your tassel from the right to the left, which symbolizes your passage from student to graduate. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to present to you the graduates of the Hun School of Princeton, class of 2019. Congratulations. Guys, you can throw your hats.
Morning, seniors will recess out into the mall to exchange final greetings with their teachers in the time-honored horseshoe ceremony. Congratulations, class of 2019. We will never forget you. Faculty, lead us out.